So yeah, that able to change off and down. Now as you can see, I've got to do remove these M10 drive. So anyway, let's get it set. Good morning, people. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. I tell you what, these weeks are absolutely flying by. Anyway, we've got a 2011 Ford Kuga 2-litre TDCi, which is having a timing belt. Now, the first thing I've done, see that bonnet prop? Gets in your way down there. So we'll remove that and we'll put our own little bonnet stay, which is out of the way of everything. Anyway, let's get round to business. First thing that we're going to be doing is disconnecting the battery negative first. Now, once I've disconnected that battery, I'm going to take the cap off the coolant tank because we need to take that vehicle in the air. Now I've got the vehicle fully raised. We've got all the under trays off, which are there. I've also got the rear driver's side front wheel off because we need to just remove this bit of a splash guard here. Now, the reason why I've dropped it down first, dropped it down and taken it up and removed the trims, is because I need to put a jack with a block of wood underneath the sump so I can take the engine mount off. Now, while I've still got the vehicle up in the air, I've removed the splash guard now. We're going to get a long aviation spanner, 15mm. We're going to take the tension off the alternator belt. We're going to remove, just a little bit easier while it's down here and you're not up there struggling. Anyway, let's drop the vehicle down. Now I've got the car back down to working height. I've gone ahead, 218s, 215s, got the engine mount out of the way, 410mm, we've got the upper timing cover off. Now what we need to do is come underneath the wheel arch, get a socket on the crank, turn it over and get this engine timed up. Now it is very, very similar to a DV6. We've got to put a pin in the camshaft by there and it aligns in the cylinder head. And then once we've got that somewhere near, we're going to take it up and we're going to lock the crank just underneath the starter motor, which I'll show you in a second. Now once I've got that camshaft lined up, what we're going to be doing is getting the timing pins. Now this is a universal master kit, absolutely brilliant, and I've had it years. We're going to get that camshaft pin now, I'm going to slide it in, and it goes in just like that. It should be nice and easy. If it doesn't go in properly, it's not lined up correctly. Now what I'm going to do, because I'm happy with where it's aligned, we're going to remove it, put it up there. I'm going to take the car up, I'm going to put, I can't remember which one it is, whether it's one of these ones. I think it's that one there. But we're going to get that pin in the flywheel. Right, let's get this crankaroonie locked up. Now it is one of these pins. Now it is very hard for you to see. I've just put a little bit of yellow in that top right hand corner there, if you can see. And that just slides in, like so, and leave it rest. Now that crank is locked. Now the crank's locked, before we take the vehicle right down, we're going to just mark the crank pulley, a little bit of yellow paint, just when we're winding it over later when we're checking the timing. It's going to be a little bit easier for ourselves. We're going to get a 22 now and remove this pulley and also some 10mm and remove the lower timing cover. Now with all them covers off, we have just moved the crankshaft pickup ring. Be extra careful with that, you don't want to damage it. If you do, this car ain't starting. Now I can do everything now, pretty much. I put the pin back in the camshaft up there. I don't know whether you can see it. We can get a 13mm now on that tensioner. And I'm going to get this belt off. Watch, I won't be able to do it now. Slacking the tensioner off. All fingers and thumbs today. All fingers and thumbs. Right, that is slacked off. Remove the tension off the tensioner. We should now be able to pull that belt off a little bit like that. Simple. Once that belt is now removed, we're going to get our lovely little receptacle, an 11mm, and we're going to undo them bolts on that water pump, and we're going to just let that water drain off gently, because everybody knows, if you're following me and you've watched all my videos, I hate mess on the floor, especially antifreeze, because it's horrible and greasy. With a little bit of magic, that water pump is now removed and it's going in for the scrap. Now we need to clean this block surface up. Now what I used to clean it is a little bit of 3M Scotch pad. It's not abrasive at all, but it's just harsh enough to give it a bit of a clean. And get that perfectly. Make sure that you've got no gasket left on there whatsoever. Now let's jump round to the new one, which is, of course, My preferred is Schaeffler LUK. Now, what we're going to be doing is putting the water pump on. Now, I do see it from time to time, and over the years, lots of people use silicone on the gaskets. Well, there's no need to use silicone. That's what the gasket's there for. Now, we're going to get this on and get it torqued up to spec-a-rooning. Right, well, I've plodded on. I've put the new water pump on. We've put the idler on, which goes in between the engine mount. And I've got to do the tensioner from the top. But what I like about this master kit is this little clip, horseshoe clip. And that goes just around that timing belt. And that'll keep it in place while I drop down, and I'm not worrying about it. Right, well, I've got the vehicle back down to working height now. We've got the belt on, we've routed it. I've torqued it up to 21 Newton meters. And I tell you what, that little quarter ratchet, it's not a ratchet, is it? A torque wrench. Bought it off Amazon, and the link is in my link tree. Got that torque to 21 Newton meters. Brilliant little ratchet that is. We'll just call it a ratchet. Now, the tension on these, I was going to show you with my little mirror, but I can't really get in. It's so hard for you to see. But I'm going to show you on a bit of a diagram. The tensioner, the timing, the little lever on it, it should be matching up in the middle, just like that. But it is, and it's perfect. Right, now I'm happy with the timing. I don't want to bore you putting it all back together. It's just a reverse procedure of what you've just watched. So what I'm going to do, get all the timing covers on, spin the engine over by hand twice, make sure all the lines are marking up correctly. And I'll show you. Well, it won't be long doing it anyway. Right, that is a little bit of magic been done. The car is now all back together. What we're going to be doing is filling the coolant system. Now, I have done plenty of videos on using this, and it's a brilliant tool, and it is a link in my link tree for it as well. We're going to get this coolant system bled. What we're going to do, connect the airline. We're going to pull a vacuum until that goes into the yellow, and then flick that switch. Wait for it, wait for it. About there, switch it off, disconnect it, and we're going to leave that now while we're putting all the under trays and the wheel arch back on. Everything, this car now is pretty much 99.9% back together. All I've got to do is give everything a wipe and put the engine cover on. But however, we're going to get this coolant system filled now, and it's so easy. Make sure you've got your right coolant for the vehicle, flick a switch, which way it goes, and that now fill that coolant system. Absolutely game changer. Battery connected, coolant filled, timing belt replaced, everything back together. Let's get on the key and give it a big start-a-rooning. Let me just stick my camera up there for you. Give it a bit of an adjust-a-rooning. Make sure it don't fall off. Let's get on the key. Got two choices, isn't it? It either starts or it doesn't. Well, it's running. Sounds beautiful. Sounds like a little single sewing machine. The car now has been ticking over for about 10-15 minutes. Just got a thermal camera on it. We're making sure that everything is circulating. We've got no airlocks. We shouldn't have anyway because we've used our pressure bleeder. Make sure the vents are nice and hot. Absolutely perfect. And that is one timing belt replacement on a Ford Kuga 2 litre TDCi. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Let's get it sent.